Hey, what's up everyone? I want to go over Blood Would Tell, Tezuka Osamu's Dororo, also known as Dororo in Japan. This game is for the PS2 and brought to you by Sega and Red Entertainment. This is based off the 1969 manga Dororo. But yeah, this game will be my introduction to the manga and anime. Blood Would Tell is the story of a wandering swordsman who fights fiends. But what's different from this game compared to other hack and slash games? Well, our protagonist doesn't have a real body. It's mainly prosthetic parts. He doesn't even have real eyes or ears. He uses his sixth sense to see and interact with others. But for every fiend he kills, a literal part of him grows back. In fact, when you start the game, it's all in black and white. I believe this was to show that the character was lacking his eyesight. This is only for the tutorial part of the game. I guess I should go over the characters. Our main protagonist is Hyakkimaru. He's the wandering swordsman that hunts 48 fiends to regain his body parts back. He was sacrificed as a newborn by his father to the fiends in exchange for power. Hyakkimaru also has dual blades in his prosthetic arms. He has a Gatling gun in one arm and a powerful cannon in his knee. Ammo is limited though, so don't get trigger happy. Hyakkimaru has a sidekick, which is the self-titled character Dororo. Dororo is a kid thief who travels with Hyakkimaru. This kid can help you fight and find items for you. Together they travel to take down the fiends. Both characters are playable. As I mentioned before, this game is a hack and slash game, but it does have some RPG and platforming elements. Each chapter, Hyakkimaru and Dororo encounter the fiends. As far as moves, he has light and heavy attacks. He could order Dororo to do tasks for him like assisting in battle, search for items, collect drop items, and if Dororo gets lost, you could summon a kid by your side. Hyakki has a double jump as well as a cool spinning aerial attack. You could perform this by jumping and pressing the heavy button. There are variations to this game aside from just the hack and slash action. In some parts, Hyakkimaru have a certain number of enemies to take out either lethal or non-lethal. There are some platforming areas for both characters, and yes, you do play as Dororo in this game too. This kid plays very similar to Hyakkimaru, but with the exception of the swords, knee cannon, and Gatling gun, Dororo will use projectiles like rocks, bombs, and knives. When not using projectiles, Dororo does have melee attacks. Blood Would Tell will have a minigame, kinda like the Shinobi games. I think they're called Tates and Shinobi, but it's kinda different. By charging your heavy attack on the enemy, you will have a quick time event. If you're able to kill the enemy within the time limit of the button prompt, you will be rewarded with items.
Away with you!
The more slices you perform, the more items you will be rewarded. While it is optional, I do highly recommend to learn these as soon as possible. This game also has green orbs. If you collect 100 orbs, you will gain an extra health, which is the equivalent of a 1-up. Your extra life will be represented by the green orb on the health gauge. Also, there's a second gauge that builds up every time Hyakkimaru strikes on enemies. Once it's filled, it gives him an opportunity to unleash a spinning fury of blades, and it's pretty cool. It gives Hyakkimaru a chance to deal damage and be invincible from taking damage. The only downside is that sometimes he will be out of range from the enemies. You could semi-control him while attacking in this fury mode, but it is good for boss fights though. I should mention the save method. Of course, after you beat a chapter, the game will ask you to save. But there's these shrines in the chapters where you save the game. But I just find it so random how Hyakkimaru will tell you that you can save the game after getting his vocal cords.
I can save the game here.
Like it breaks the fourth wall when the game is so immersed. If I have to nitpick a few things, it will be minor things honestly. One is the front cover we got. It's just a still image of the opening cutscene. The Japanese cover looks pretty cool. I love this art style. The next thing I'll have to complain about is the beginning of chapter 7. You're in this deserted town, and your goal is to reach the Sky Fortress. However, everything in this town looks nearly the same, and it's kinda complex to get from one point to the next. Not to mention there's platform elements, which you think will make things easier to get to the target place, but actually makes it more confusing. I know there's a map to kinda help you where to go, but it doesn't help when it comes to the multi-layers of the map. If it wasn't for those green orbs, I think I would have been lost in my first playthrough. The last thing that I will nitpick is the camera. For the most part, you could control the camera by pressing L1 to face the camera. However, when it comes to the platforming, oh boy, it's going to be a little frustrating. You could still move the camera, but it feels very awkward. I remember this one part when I was playing as Dororo and chasing the swordsman. Oh man, it sucks so much jumping over those platforms. There's also parts where you can't control the camera, like fixed angles, but it could be hazardous for you, because there could be pitfalls in your blind view. You just have to perform a leap of faith to jump over. For boss fights, you do have the choice to target lock the camera or disable the target lock, but I think it's safe for the most part to have the default camera with bosses. The game will have 8 chapters, including the prologue on your first playthrough. However, things are unsettled, unless you revisit certain areas in previous chapters. Hyaki didn't kill all the fiends, and he won't rest until they're all slain.
However, there were yet fiends that lived, determined to retrieve what was rightfully his, and to free the world from the plague of the fiends. Hyakimaru continued on his journey, with Dororo by his side.
Trust me, revisiting the chapter is worth it, because you have the opportunity to get better swords. The Fiend Slayer, which by the way is my favorite, it has a good range and deals a good amount of damage. You also have an opportunity to level up and take down the remaining fiends. It will take more than just revisiting chapters to find the remaining fiends. Some fiends will have specific conditions, like killing a fiend in one chapter, revisiting to meet a condition, then come back to the chapter you were just in the first place. There will be one story-related fight, which will be part of the revisits. This will be involved with Mizaki.
Misaki, that sword!
I've been waiting for you, Hyakimaru. I've learned to control my power better. Care to test me?
Misaki, get a hold of yourself!
Stay back, Dororo. I'm not here for you. Hyakimaru, this time, I shall have my revenge.
Misaki! Why?
She is now possessed by a fiend and is blood driven by the loss of her brother. After killing the 47 fiends, Hyakimaru knows where the final fiend is at. But talking about it will be in the spoilers, so make sure to check the timestamps to avoid spoilers. Hyakimaru and Dororo celebrate on killing the 47 fiends, but there's one more fiend left. Hyaki knows where it's at. It's inside Dororo. Dororo is scared, thinking that Hyakimaru is going to be a threat. But rest assured, he promises Dororo that he will come back and research how to get rid of the final fiend.
Don't worry, Dororo. I've slain 47 fiends so far. And compared to that, I'm sure figuring this out will be easy.
Hyaki,
I want you to wait here for me, Dororo.
Before Hyaki leaves, he also mentions Dororo's true gender.
Hyaki, I believe in you.
Dororo, goodbye. I'm sure you'll grow up to be a very fine woman someday.
Dororo dresses up like a boy but is truly a girl. This was hinted with the final confrontation with Mizaki.
Take care, Dororo, and don't be afraid to show your soft side now and then.
Soft side? What soft side? What are you talking about?
Don't worry, Dororo. Your secret is safe with me.
Misaki?
After some time passed, 5 years to be exact, Hyakimaru returns as promised and reunites with an older Dororo. He learns how to exorcise the final fiend, but he must make sure to kill it while Dororo is in a dormant state, or else it will be her death.
I won't fail you.
Meet the Behemoth. The final chapter is just this boss fight with multiple phases. The first phase, it'll be flying around and you gotta take it down with your cannons. The second phase, you gotta take on his head and use your best sword. This will result in splitting the head in half. The third phase, which is the most challenging in my opinion, will be the back horns. You have to destroy them before the behemoth's tail will capture you. The challenging part of this is getting to the back, because it has a giant AoE and performs lightning strikes. In the final phase, the behemoth is weakened and his head is split in two from phase 2. The behemoth will dive down on you. You have to take advantage and deal damage on his split head. Now this is where you have to learn how to do the charge slashes. You have to perform 48 or more slashes to slay this fiend. If not, the behemoth will get back with full health and you have to try again. After the fiend is slain, Hyakimaru will get his final body part back, and Dororo awakens from her slumber. Hyakimaru is so excited to get all of his body back. They are both happy and grateful for each other.
Hyaki?
Dororo, look! It's my right arm! My real arm!
You did it, Hyaki!
Dororo, I couldn't have done it without you.
Thank you. Hyaki.
And yeah, that's Blood Will Tell. I really like this game. I like the pacing and the story is really good. And I have to admit, replaying the chapters to take on the new fiends felt like it was backtracking. But man, it was so rewarding. I think there's like 3 bosses in the main story that could be missed if you're just aiming for the story related bosses. One of them is Misaki in the final outcome. The other is this butterfly fiend, which doesn't affect the story, but it has some trivia to the manga.
Hyaki, something smells fishy.
Yeah, there's something powerful in here. Looks like I found you, fiend!
Hyakimaru, I am my own ba. I will not let you interfere with the fiend's plans. I shall fill this pitiful world with the presence of the my own ba. Hyakimaru, prepare to meet your doom.
The last fiend will be Unfinished Business with the Red Cap. Yeah, Hyakimaru never killed them off. This is his chance to take him down and get his body part back.
Damn you, Hyakimaru! You've let all of my followers escape! Their prayers were my strength, my nourishment!
I should mention Unlockables. After you beat the game, you unlock Dororo mode. It's basically a time minigame to get specific items in a time limit.
Hey, it's me, Dororo. I never told anyone. This scarf has a secret. Mom and Dad were both bandits, and they gave it to me when I was younger. It's a treasure map. Dad may have been a bandit, but he never stole from poor people or travelers. He only went after warriors, but he was killed by another bandit in a fit of jealousy and greed. Mom died in a blizzard. She was trying to protect me from the cold. So that's why I need to find this treasure. And I want you to help me.
If you do, you unlock movies and art from the game. Also, for every fiend that you slain, you unlock their info in the encyclopedia. I didn't know until a few years ago that it was based off a manga. Yeah, this manga is by Tezuka Osamu, well known for Astro Boy and Jungle Emperor Leo. I have read the Dororo manga, and it's a pretty good read. There is a 2019 anime on Amazon Prime, but it is a completely different story in the reboot. I'll say check it out if you're curious, but be aware that things that happen in the anime are different. If you're a fan of yokais and Japanese folklore, You will love this game. You have your Onis, Kappas, Wheel Demons, and so on. Alrighty, that's all I have for Blood Will Tell. If you played this game, do you have any favorite experience? Have you read the manga or watched the different anime adaptations? Like, comment, and subscribe for more content, and I am out. Peace.